All right, y'all. What's good? What's good, family? IOBA. My name is TC. So check this out right here. I always say check this out right here. Um, y'all know that so-called brawl they had in Cincinnati. That shit there is staying in the news because of the one-sided way it's been looked at by the mainstream media. It's being looked at like a bunch of black kids, men and women, beat up two defenseless, middle-aged white men and knocked out the white woman. Just, we went goddamn animal and we just did this thing. They're not talking about what really went down. But by now, everybody knows who really started the shit. So we going back and forth with this. We got people like J.D. Vance talking about, put them away for life. And we got my boy Vivek Ramaswamy talking shit about it. Now, I got to go and check out what Vivek said because I want to do a special video on his response to that Cincinnati fight because he is a special case to me. But anyway, it come like this. In this country, we, black people, not expected to defend ourselves. We are expected to take these ass whoopings and these beat downs and these killings and shootings and call up one of our high-priced lawyers like Ben Crump, who works really hard, by the way. Ain't no shade on him. And that's all we expected to do. And then hopefully, get a bag and then go away quietly while the shit keep happening. Well, go like this here. We seem to be getting to a point where we don't give a shit. We already know that the system is going to come down on the side of whomever of the non-white of the white person. We already know the system going to come down on this side. We already know that. We already know politicians going to come out the woodwork and try to milk it for all it's worth so that they can rile up their little bases or whatever and talk about how bad black people are. We already know all these things going in. Black people are reaching a point where they don't give a fuck no more. All you can do is take my life. Once you get to that point, you're dealing with some dangerous people. You get to that point, you be like, look at him. They're going to fuck me up anyway, so somebody going with me. You look at it like these white folks got the deck stacked against me, but somebody going to feel what I feel. And if you looked at the video, you saw who started what. You had two white men. I know these kind of guys. I keep telling y'all that. I know these kind of motherfuckers. They be looking for it. Looking for it all the time. And when you put it on their ass, they call up their buddies downtown to come and make it look like it's all your fault. And all of the lamestream media they jump on, and now you the bad guy for defending yourself. Black people ain't never been meant to defend ourselves, but now we ain't got no more fucks to give, so we doing it. So just know that when you get ready to get buck wild out there on some brother or some sister, we fighting for our life at this point. You fighting for maybe some clicks, or you fighting just to prove your so-called non-existent superiority. That's what you fighting for. We fighting for survival in our existence. We fighting for some basic human respect. So, and we know that when the law gets involved in it, it's all gonna come down on your side anyway. So the least you could do is take this ass whooping. And we mean to give it to you. You following people around begging them to kick your ass, and when they do, they get in trouble. What was they supposed to do? I mean, because if I'm not mistaken, these cats was Russian. That's what I'm hearing. Now, if that's true, and if they have gone back to Russia, because I ain't seen no pictures of nobody but the white girl, if they going back to where they came from, Europe, if they've got, not Europe, Russia, if they're going back to Russia, they're in a place where the tables are totally turned and black dudes get their ass whooped by Russians all the time over there. And by the way they was moving, you could tell they wasn't hip to the game, because I don't know 2 or 3 white boys that get up in the middle of that many black people and get to acting a fool like that. I don't know too many American white dudes that get up in the middle of a whole bunch of brothers and get to acting crazy like that and putting their hands in their face when they know they surrounded and outnumbered. And they saw the Alabama brawl, the riverboat brawl down in Alabama, Montgomery last year. They saw that shit, or if they didn't see it, they should have seen it. But they should have known better. It had probably, now this is all speculative, probably had they been from the U.S., they would have known better to go out there acting like that. And when the ass whooping came, as it inevitably would, they wouldn't have been shocked by it. They wouldn't have been out there acting like that. They wasn't from here. And now they gone. This is what I'm being told. Now they gone. And now the media is all over the black people, and you see 3 black mugshots. You don't see no mugshots of the dude who threw the first punch, the white guy. And it's all because black people in this country, we in survival mode. And we at the, I don't give a fuck. White folks want to use the N-word, and white folks want freedom of speech, and white folks want to act all big and bad because Trump is in the White House. We tell people all the time, when these administrations come into play, don't let the fact that there's a guy like Trump in the White House cause you to get your ass whooped. I'm going to say it again. We warn people all the time that just because Trump is in the White House and you feeling brave, don't let his being there cause you to get your ass whooped by saying or doing something really, really stupid at a really, really bad time. And that is, with that being said, I also want to touch on this subject. The Diaspora war, that shit right there, it don't seem to be going away. And it's getting more and more stupid as it goes on. But Africans that come over here, and Jamaicans and Trinis and all of them that come over here, tend to associate with their own. They didn't want the alliance. And so they don't have the alliance. And so now, and they didn't want the allowance, and they don't have the allowance. And now, with the anti-black violence going on against black Americans, we got our own battle to fight. I said, now is not a time for us to be having no fucking civil war when the white folks is coming for us all. I said that. And ain't nobody paying no attention to me. I said, now ain't no time to be having no civil war while them white folks is coming for us all. But ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. So, we gotta look out for ourselves just like everybody else. A motherfucker in my comment section because I'm not going back down there for a little while in my comment section. But thank you for all the positive comments and the encouragement that I do get and that I do see. Thank you. I appreciate that. But a motherfucker said to me, you do realize you are African. Yeah, motherfucker, I realize I'm African. That's the whole goddamn point. You stupid motherfucker. The Africans don't want to recognize us as Africans. So fuck it. We won't be. You see this medallion what I got? I know where the fuck I come from, basically, but not exactly. Because all that shit was stripped of from me and my people. So what did Rakim say? It ain't where you're from, is where you're at. Shit. And this is where we at, and this is where we have been since what? I want to say 1555 or somewhere around in there, but they saying 1619. But it was probably a lot longer than that. We've been here. We've been here. And they want to call us African Americans. I think I'm in agreement with the people who want to dump that phrase. I'm in agreement with the people who want to dump that phrase. Because we are neither African, and in some people's eyes, we ain't American. But we definitely ain't African anymore. Nobody wants to refer us to as that. The Africans don't anyway. Even though that we know clearly that's where our roots are, they don't want to call us that. But so, I'm going with Black American. I've been calling myself a Black American for a while, though. I mean, because, goddamn. I ain't the first one to say this, but Elon Musk is an African American. Them motherfuckers that they brought over here and gave asylum to, they are now African American. It's all kinds of white African Americans. So African American don't really mean shit. African American doesn't really mean anything. Black American. You're black and you're American. There you go. You're American because your blood and your sweat and your tears are in the soil of this land. And you're American because you fought in every motherfucking war that this country was ever involved in. You fought, right? You fought. From the revolution all the way up to the bullshit in the Middle East. We was there. So, we black and we goddamn Americans. And we need to be recognized as our own fucking group. And there's a whole lot of us. I'm going to say somewhere around 45, 50 million of us. And most of us, I'm going to close with this, and most of us, is a shock to a lot of motherfuckers around the world. Most of us are middle class. Most of us are in the middle and you never hear about us. All you hear about is the very rich. I said this before, the very rich, Oprah, LeBron, Robert Johnson, all these motherfuckers, the very rich. And you hear about the underclass, the poor. And the working poor. And you'll hear about our criminal element because, we got one just like every motherfucking body else has criminals in their demographic. But ours get highlighted. But them the only people you hear about, the rich, the people at the very top and the people who are at the so-called bottom, who hustling and struggling. But you don't hear about the millions of people. Where do you think that goddamn $1 trillion in buying power comes from? You know what I mean? Where do you think all that come from? Jay-Z can't buy but so many jets. LeBron can't buy but so many houses. Where do you think that, $1 trillion buying power actually comes from? It comes from us in the middle. It comes from us in the middle. It comes from, I'm going to say, the bottom, in the middle, 80-85% of our population. So the middle, 40 million people, 35, 40 million black people, we are the ones who support that buying power. So when you talk to us, Put some respect on our name, and we'll spin with you, because that's really what it is. So Black American, that's the term I'm going to go with. That's the term that makes the most sense right now. What did James Brown say? Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's day. TC, and I'm out. Oh, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.